Okay, so I think everybody has a Facebook account, right? Um, I think I was like maybe one of the last people in our group to get a Facebook account because I'm usually I don't like oversharing, so and I'm kind of sometimes antisocial. Um, but then I think nobody realized the power uh, that social media and specifically Facebook would eventually have when Mark Zuckerberg uh, developed it in college. They just wanted to meet other people, right? Um, but now it became this complicated, gargantuan thing, uh, which can change the course of a nation's history. I mean, look at Duterte. He's our president now um, because of all the strength of social media. Um, the United States as well um, suffered or also got affected by social media in their elections because of the strength of all these trolls who changed the discourse of the conversation. Um, but let's not go there. Let's not go global if we want to talk about the power of Facebook. I think I'd rather that we talk about stories that you and I know. Uh, so my social media story started not when I signed on for a personal account, um, but when we had Pondoy. I remember I was with Good Housekeeping then. I was the editor in chief, and part of my responsibilities was to sort of manage our Facebook page. At the time, we didn't really realize how powerful it could be or it could become. It was just like, okay, the magazine is the primary property, and we had a social media account. So sometimes we'll just look at it, whatever. But it wasn't really um, the main thing. But when Ondoy happened, uh, because I was one of the administrators of the account, I saw how uh, social media can be very empowering, especially in terms of public service. Um, it was through social media that we were sharing information about flood situations and rescue operations. I remember we were even sharing articles on how to get rid of like dirt on your muddy clothes, because that was what happened after Ondoy, was that all the houses were flooded, dirt came in, and they had dirty clothes. So, of course, Good Housekeeping, we would give stories, tips on how to get rid of dirty clothes. So there, that was an inkling of how powerful it can be. Um, so, fast forward to I think after I resigned, etc. So now that I'm with the Bacoor city government, I take care of the social media. Um, and when I came in, um, the three things that I wanted to do with it, at least in my head, was so for the Bacoor city government, it's very important that we take care of the social media aspect, because it's one of the first things that people get in touch with. It's through social media. Um, because everybody's on Facebook, right? And it's so easy. You just click and then you can ask any questions. But the three things that we wanted to emphasize as our objectives was to inform, to educate, and to inspire. Inform, well, this is very important, especially as Bacoor is very flood prone, right? So we're there to give timely information about flood monitoring updates or weather updates or traffic updates. Um, there's also fire updates, etc. So any information that's relevant to the ordinary Bacooreño, we want to give that to them right away. Of course, pag walang pasok, that's also very relevant, and that's one news that they want to hear. Number two, of course, is to educate. Um, Again, we go back to, as an example, the flood. Uh, just recently, you saw in the last weather disturbance when trash in Manila just swooped in and there was garbage everywhere. So I guess that's a very, very educational experience for everybody, that when you just throw your trash away, it will just come back to you. So in Bacoor, at the same time, when we had dredging operations, we always give that message in that, you know, we have to dispose of trash properly. Otherwise, it will lead to floods, and then let's not wait for the Manila experience to happen to us. So we have to take care of our trash. And then, of course, we are here to inspire. Um, I think the leadership now, it's very inspirational because you can see that they're very aggressive about pursuing development programs. And we're always putting that in. And there's also of course, the social welfare factor. So, sabi nga natin, alagang Ate Lani. So, we always come out with information on how they can reach out to government, or how government can reach out to them. For instance, there's Alagang Ate Lani Caravan, where they don't have to go to City Hall to avail of the services, because City Hall will go to the barangays so that they can avail of all the services. But again, that's what you do in general. But for me, the most fulfilling part, I guess, is that it's really, you get to help people, real people. I remember there's this one instance where a man complained about, it's not a really big thing, but he complained about the signage being too low. So people tend to bump on the signage. So we got his feedback, and then we gave it to the proper authorities, and then right away they fixed the signage for the proper height. And then this man was so, wow, okay. He was so surprised that the city government actually acted on it. But you know, that's how it is. The city government, of course, cannot know all of the people's problems, but through social media, they are empowered to give feedback to the government so that the government can do something about it. And I think that is the power of social media that I would like to emphasize and to look at, not the negative aspects, or how it's being played by different groups to forward their philosophy or thinking, but how it can empower an ordinary citizen to act on an issue that he's very passionate about, and voice it out to the government. and the government will be there to hear him. So there, that's the power of social media.